Do you miss home? Select desired destination. My grandfather, he was diagnosed with dementia for most of my life, so I didn't necessarily get to know him as a person. He was obsessed with taking photographs, especially during the more later parts of his dementia. He used photography as a means to understand his environment. The inability to essentially get direct source or material from him allowed me to kind of piece together an alternative narrative, but then projection for an alternative future. My name is Umber Majeed. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I work with both drawing, collage, video art, and now more digital tools. A lot of the content of my work engages with personal narratives and family archives, South Asian cityscape or urbanscape, a retelling or futurism, and all of it is kind of clumped in with a feminist interpretation or lens. I'm essentially based in the United States, but I work with material that's very much based in South Asia. And so I was very aware of what can translate and what can't. And being in that position, it became an opportunity for me to see what could kind of be lost in translation and what could be interesting about that. My whole family moved and they were very worried about, because I grew up in New York, they were very worried of what kind of future we would have, as so many other people and families, because a lot of people that we knew and communities that we knew in New York fled to Canada or they moved back to Pakistan because their immigration status, or just in terms of the officials and authorities targeting people who identify with the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia region. It was just an overall difficult time. So my family essentially moved to Pakistan, and so I grew up watching this housing community kind of expand and grow. The project that I'm working on is considering how individuals have been alienated out or gentrified out of this strange dystopic housing community that has these strange monuments towards Western modernisms. Trans Pakistan, the tourism company that my uncle started in the early 2000s, I'm using it through the digital lens, using tools that are readily available. So like through a smartphone camera and app that you can project onto these monuments, and using that as a way to engage with an alternative experience in those spaces. You can start our walks at any time and stop whenever and wherever you like for as long as you like. Loiter amongst the checkpoints, slow enough to be registered as the checkpoint.
My ultimate goal with the residency was to create the walking tour app interface, but essentially due to the fact that I haven't been able to go there and I don't know when I'll be able to go there, I've changed the project a little bit where I'm creating a website interface which will act as a kind of artwork, the company face of what Trans Pakistan is. I can say I'm a legitimate company to negotiate with Barrier Town to actually make the tours possible for people to actually be able to walk through the housing community as tourists. And then the narratives can be as subversive as they need to be. They don't need to understand essentially what's happening. They'll be like, oh, it's an art project, sure. Okay, cool. You're gonna pay us for this. I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll do that.